So you're thinking about moving to Bend and you're worried about the snow in the winter. Well, that's exactly what we're going to be addressing in today's video. For the longest time we've been talking about on previous videos, vlog style videos, the winter is here, the snow's coming, we just don't know when it's going to come. Well, it arrived last night. It's January 10th this morning, and we got about 8 to 10 inches in the last 40 hours or so. So we're going to be talking about that today. Snow in Bend in Central Oregon. This video sounds like it's for you. Stick around. We're going to be getting after it right now. Hey, if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living, eating, sleeping, working, playing, weather, the snow here in Bend, Oregon and Central Oregon, subscribe to the channel, tap that notification bell below so you can be the first to know about the current market here in Bend and sunny, yet still sunny in Central Oregon here. Whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, or even set up a Zoom. We've got a Calendly link in the banner of our homepage, as well as every comment section in every video. So reach out to us when it's your time. And with that being said, we're gonna get after it right now. So it's the morning after, right? Okay, we got our dusting of snow slash 8 to 10 inches over the course of a 40-hour period of time. It was cloudy, obviously, that's what a storm looks like. Snow's coming down. But guess what? The clouds have already cleared up and it's a sunny day here in town. Kind of like what we addressed in earlier videos when we were warning everybody, hey, the snow is coming, we just don't know when it's gonna be here. So it showed up early this week, and now the clouds have already gone away. We'll probably get some more cloud coverage at some point. This is just kind of the way it goes in the wintertime, but it's a beautiful bluebird day the next morning. So there's no school today. Got too much snow. Bend used to be a smaller town. I'm the duck here. Where we could literally just go to school even with like 10 to 12 inches. But now it's getting to be such a popular area that road conditions, infrastructure just can't keep up. And it just becomes a bit of a challenge to get from point A to point B. And so school's been canceled today. We'll see what it looks like for tomorrow. But the kids are happy about that. I don't know if the parents are happy about that, but they're outside, they're enjoying the snow. But it's generally business as usual outside of school being canceled here in town. Now, it's January 10th right now, and this was to be expected. We're always gonna get some sort of snowstorm here in Bend each winter. And sometimes it lasts a long time, sometimes it's relatively short-lived, but we usually get, 2 to 3 fairly big style snowstorms. So this is one. This is probably the first one of this year, 2023, 2024. We'll see what else we get. I mean, January 10th, the winter in Bend can kind of drag on. Sometimes we don't get that big snowstorm until February. Sometimes we get them in March and even in early April, even after like baseball season starts, tennis season starts, spring sports in high school. Remember in high school, I was playing tennis actually one year and baseball. I played both sports. But we would have to shovel the infield, baseball. We'd have to mop or sweep up the tennis courts to get the snow off the surfaces in early April, just so we could go out and practice. So that's one of the things about living in Bend it's interesting, not necessarily something I love about it. If I had to give it like a negative check regarding living in Bend, it's that the winters can drag on for a while, especially in the spring when we're outside after daylight savings. We're used to like the sun being up in the sky late in the day. The sun goes down at like 7:30 again, 8 o'clock at night, but it's really cold and it just it doesn't feel very welcoming to be outside. But here we are in January. So again, there's been winters where the snow would come in November and last all the way until March, just a couple of those. I think 2016 is the one that reminds me of that winter where we got the snow in November and it just stayed cold the entire time. And it felt like a mountain pass, like Sandy Am Pass or going over Mount Hood, where there were just barricades, walls of snow on each side of the side street. Like we're in a neighborhood right now in Southwest Bend. And so you can see here, everybody's out kind of shoveling their driveways, or they have their snow blowers. They're kind of getting acclimated for the day. Most people are gonna show up late to work on a day like today. We're actually walking by an elementary school right now. Parking lot's bare. It's all plowed. It's ready for school. but it's just one of those days where it'll just the day will start a little bit slower. For most people, they have to adjust to the snow. We'll see how long it lasts. I'm gonna show you guys our forecast over the next week. We have daytime lows, nighttime lows like below zero forecasted over the next couple days. So it's gonna be pretty cold, but we get stretches of weather like this every single year. So this is something that we wanted to showcase today to give you a better understanding of what life in Bend really is all about, because while it is sunny, sometimes it's a little cold, and that's where we're at right now. So we're gonna deal with it, enjoy it. I'm gonna drive around, just kind of give you guys some B-roll, show you guys what Bend is kind of like the next day after like a big snowstorm, because we only get a few of these a year, and this is an opportunity for us to show you what a snowstorm and the aftermath is all about. So we'll continue zipping around town right now and just continue this tour of what the morning after a big snowstorm in Bend is all about. So I'll see you in a little bit. So one thing the city of Bend does an absolute superb job of doing is just plowing roads, like the primary streets that go in and around Bend. I mean, we're just a couple hours into the morning here, and a lot of these roads are already completely plowed, but like the side streets, I'm up on Awbrey Butte right now, and so you're gonna have good plowing up here, but the snow has to go somewhere, right? And it just goes off into the side of the street, so it narrows like what the road itself is. Oftentimes there's really limited parking for on the street in this regard right now, and so what we're seeing here are streets that are narrow, but with snow accumulation on the sides. Some of these homes here, you can see up here behind me, this driveway is completely bare because a lot of homes up on Awbrey Butte are going to have heated driveways, and that's also commonplace around town at lower elevations as well. But that's all designed into the infrastructure of the home in preparation for days like this, where we do get ice, we do get snow accumulation. So you can just turn on a switch that heats up the driveway and starts the melting process, so you can drive your car into your home, into your driveway, especially if it's on a slope. Up here on a hill, we have over 1,000 homes on Awbrey Butte. We've got a couple hundred on Overturf Butte, and so that is part of the construction plan for a lot of homes that are newer construction, or they get redeveloped driveways to prepare for days like today, where we're going to get snow and it's going to be icy, cold, etc. But when we're driving, we got to go slower, right? A lot of newer people in this area over the last couple of years, they're from warmer climates, they're not used to driving in the snow, so there's an adjustment period for sure. You're going to want traction tires, you're going to want four-wheel drive, so that's why there's a lot of SUVs, a lot of Subarus, things like that are driven around town, because it's a four-season climate, right? and we have winter weather, and we have to be prepared for that. So we'll continue moving around. Hopefully some of that B-roll gives you perspective of what a day like today is, especially just after a storm. But again, the sun's up. Once it gets over 32 degrees, the snow will start to melt a little bit, but it's gonna take a few days for this one, considering that we're expecting colder temperatures over the coming days. But again, we'll just keep on zipping around, showing you guys what a snow day in Bend and what winter-like weather is here in the city of Bend, to give you guys that perspective. So we'll see you in a little bit as we continue the tour of a snow day here in Bend. Okay, so we're gonna wrap up the video. We just were on top of Awbrey Butte. That's the 4,000-foot cinder cone / butte that we have in the middle of town, where there's 1,000 homes or more. They live on a slope. It's important to understand what it's like to live up on top of a butte, because there is elevation gain and loss all around Central Oregon, especially when you're driving in winter-like conditions. It's important to know what that's like. You gotta drive a lot slower. We drove through the old mill district, we drove through downtown, we drove through the west side of town to give perspective as to what's going on a day after a big snowstorm like the one we just had last night. And you can see that the day has started a lot slower for most people as a result of the snow accumulation. There is no school today. A lot of people are getting to work later in the day, or they're also not going into work at all. They're gonna work from home, or they're just gonna take the day off because A, the kids are not at school, and B, it's kind of hard to get in and around Bend right now as we're adjusting and we're plowing all the roads and we're getting used to what is now the winter style life condition here in town. Some things to consider. A lot of those parking spots were wide open downtown. Mid-morning, typically on a regular day, they're gonna be packed. There's not gonna be parking available after, say, 8:30 in the morning, but today there's a lot of people that are just staying home, and that's okay. Driving conditions, you gotta drive a lot slower, and you gotta get from point A to point B in a much slower fashion. You gotta give yourself more time to get around. That's obvious when it comes to snowy-like conditions like the day that we have today. If we pan up here and see the roof behind me there, that's a big concern for a lot of homes. Okay, snow accumulation on roofs, it needs to have proper drainage so that the water and the melt off of the snow can drain off of the roof properly. If it doesn't, what we have are called ice dams. They're a major concern, and if we don't properly mitigate the roof or the snow on a roof, they can build up. The snow, it's gonna melt anyway. The heat from the home will force the melting of the snow on the roof, but if that water can't drain off, then you have what are called ice dams. They're a risk, and if that water can't drain off of the home, it's gonna go somewhere. Sometimes it goes inside of the home, creates water damage, and that's a major concern, especially for a lot of homeowners that don't have proper means of getting the snow off off of a roof as it accumulates. And so when the days warm up, typically after a snowstorm, the snow will just naturally melt off of a roof. But sometimes if it's going to be cold for days on end after a big snowstorm and that snow just maintains itself on top of a roof, then there needs to be some sort of action taken, and that's a major concern in the wintertime. And so, yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap up today's video. We wanted to give you a perspective of what a snow day in Bend is all about. We only get a few of these big snowstorms on an annual basis, and so it's good that we were able to go out here and broadcast it today right after it happened. We get a lot of smoke and fire, dry heat in the summertime. That's our major concern in the summertime. Smoke coverage over town, over Central Oregon, typically in August and September. And then we get some snow days in the wintertime. Those are the two major environmental concerns that we have here. And we're just glad that we have a chance to showcase and broadcast what life is like in Bend when those two conditions kind of come upon us, either in the summertime with the smoke or in the wintertime with the snow. So hopefully that gives you some good perspective. As always, we want you guys to give us a call when it's your time to make a move or make some sort of change when it comes to living in Bend. If you're moving from out of the area, great. If you're in Bend already, you're looking to make another move somewhere nearby, we'd love to help you either way. It starts with you guys calling us. Give us a call, shoot us a text, email, set up that Zoom with the Calendly link in the homepage of our channel. But it starts with you guys reaching out. Zach and I are both licensed brokers with eXp Realty. We're so thankful for you watching our channel and supporting the channel as we continue to broadcast what life in Central Oregon, Bend, Redmond, etc. is all about. So thanks again for watching. We will see you guys on the next video. Thanks and have a great snow day.